so let's talk about putting the oils on the dog. There are 9 of them. You're going to do them in a very specific order with the techniques between the application of each oil. And I have this written down so you'll be able to read it first and then begin your process. If your dog is new to essential oils and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, don't feel bad. It's okay. Just start with the back. Just start with the back. Put down your carrier oil, right? A couple of drops. More drops for the bigger dog. Feather that in so that the entire area here is basically a little oil slick. It'll absorb in, don't worry about it. Right? So you'll get carrier oil from tail to the top of the head. Then you're going to start your application. So I start with Valor. Put a couple of drops of Valor in my hand. Rub them together. And then come to the dog, right hand to right shoulder. If he's sitting in front of you, you'll have to cross your hands to do that, but right hand to right shoulder. And just sort of take a moment to set the intention, meditate, pray, whatever you do, to sort of create a grounding, calming, harmonious moment with your dog. Okay? If we are just doing the back, we've got our oil slick of carrier. We're going to start with the oregano, and I'm not going to do all the oils for this demo. I just want to show you how I get started. I'll put a drop of oil in my hand. Let it fall out. That turned out to be 2 drops. I'll pick up a little. I don't know if you can see it on my hand, but there's lots left in my hand and a little bit on my thumb. So I'll come here and start to apply it in various places up the spine. And I still have a lot left, so it winds up being less than a drop. You can then take that and start to feather that whole little process we talked about, short 3 inches, all the way up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3. 6 inches, right? Sometimes your dog's not long enough to let all that happen. And then you build your way to getting all those strokes in, right? So we've moved the oil between those little points we placed it all the way up. All right? Then you'll do your VitaFlex technique in 3s all the way up. Okay? Then you move to your next oil, do the same thing. When you get to time, you do the exact same thing, but then you're going to add that pulling the oils down the sides, those little angel wings, right? Okay? If you are working with a dog that will let you work his feet and you are beginning to feel more comfortable about doing this work, when you begin the process for each oil, you're going to put oregano. You start with oregano, 1 drop, pick up a little bit in your thumb, come between the pads of the feet, and work that oil in, work it all around, and VitaFlex in that area. Do all 4 feet, next oil, all 4 feet, next oil, all 4 feet, and so on. Then you do the legs, if they'll let you, right? And when we do that, again, we're trying not to get in the back area because we don't want to get into the little genitalia area. Come do the front. VitaFlex is a little harder, right? In fact, for me, I usually just feather it up the legs, okay? All 9 oils, So one oil at a time, all the way around, next oil all until you've done all 9. Then we come to the back. You can still do the pick up a little bit, put it on there, and feather it in, start your techniques, right? Or, when your dog's starting to get really comfortable with this and you're feeling better about it, you can literally hold the oil up, drop, drop. Now, that became 2 full drops of oil on the body, where typically this is going to be 1 drop, maybe a little less. You then claim the rest of it and started feathering it in. But I will drop directly onto the body. So for my little guys, usually 1 drop does all 4 feet, 1 drop does all the legs, and then I'll usually put 2 on the back. For a bigger dog, that's going to be more. For a horse, even more to do the feet. Usually winds up being like a full drop per foot kind of thing. Okay? Then you'll go through the techniques, and again, this is written down in the order of the oils and where to add the technique. So every oil gets feathered, every oil gets Vitaflexed, and then as we get to time, we start pulling it down the sides. After we hit marjoram, we start doing some of those other techniques that we talked about, right? All those other techniques we talked about. See the other video. Okay? Let me know if you have questions.